What's good, y'all? So yesterday I sent over the onboarding materials over to Jared, and so he's got his Trello board with all the instructions on it, all the information he needs to understand how far along in the design process I'm at. And also I sent over a Google Drive link so that he could add any media assets that I might need. Earlier today, I spent some time doing some content for the channel, and that pretty much took most of the day. And I had some dinner, and just a little while ago, got off the sticks. I was playing some Helldivers 2 for about an hour, and now I wanted to jump in and do some brainstorming and researching for the project. And basically what I like to do when it comes to brainstorming is just start off from scratch. Like, I do basically a mind map, and whatever information that I know just straight from the dome that I know about Jared and his company, and like what he does on social media, anything I've seen on his websites, I just go straight and just I just mind map everything. Like, it's just any kind of keywords that are helpful, I just throw it all out on the paper. I don't like to type anything out. I like to do everything pen and paper at first. And yeah, after I do that for who knows, it usually takes about maybe 15-20 minutes or so. I just kind of get going. And once I get going, I get into a groove, and then I start to hop on the computer and maybe do a little bit more research and try to find more keywords. But the goal for me as far as brainstorming is just filling up the page with a bunch of information that might be helpful for when I want to start the project or how I want to start the project. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. Let's get it. All right. So I just finished brainstorming in my sketchbook here, and I'm going to show you what I got so far. All right, so this is what I got. Didn't take that long, maybe about 10-15 minutes. And again, this is based on just the stuff that I know straight off the dome. Some of the things that I wrote down were like even the obvious stuff, because there's just no right or wrong here. So obviously photographer, videographer, and some of the categories that he's covered, or some of the industries that he's worked in. Esports, action sports. He does a lot of local stuff in Austin, Texas. So I remember seeing some stuff for a barbecue restaurant. He's done stuff for car dealerships. I put boxing and gyms. And I don't remember if he's done podcasts or interviews or anything like that. And then visual style, fast moving, energetic, cinematic, moody, dark or black colors, gritty, grainy, noisy textures. The first thing that came to mind was skate culture when I think about the visual style, but anything also action sports would fit as well. Some of the examples, I used Vans, LRG, kind of wrote Chucks. And then in some of his videos, I've noticed like some hip hop in there. And if I remember correctly, there was some guitar stuff going on that might have just been from one of his vlogs, I don't know. And then I wrote a little bit about, my perception of his personality and just who he is as a person, about him. I wrote down to earth, easygoing, man of faith, father, husband. He's a grinder. He seems like somebody who can't really sit still. He's got to always be doing stuff, getting shit done. And then I wrote down maybe some questions that I could ask him on the Trello board. Maybe he could provide like a mission statement, or if he has like a team. I know that his wife is on as part of the production company, and I'm wondering if anybody else is on the team, or if he plans on getting other people like on a permanent basis on his team. So yeah, that's basically everything I got. I just wanted to get it all out there on paper and see where I could go from here. This is just my perception. I'm gonna jump into some researching right now. All right, let's keep going. All right, y'all. So I just finished the brainstorming and research session for tonight, I believe. Just show you the page here. See what I got in the notebook. So I pretty much filled this up with some other stuff, you know, just some small stuff that I added there, filled that up. And then I took a look at his current website and made some notes here. You know, I went through each section of the site just to check it out a little bit. A lot of this is whatever I'm feeling I want to jump into, I want to do it, but I don't want to start looking at actual website inspiration or, you know, anything that's going to make me imagine what the final product is going to look like. I don't want to do that. I just want to ease my way into it without having any kind of influence on the outcome of like the different versions of websites that I'm going to make or that I'm going to create. Like, I just want to start off fresh-minded before I jump into it. It just stresses me out when I think about, you know, what the website's going to look like. Like, I don't know if a lot of people do this. I feel like they do, but they find inspiration using like straight up just looking at website templates. You know, there's a fuck ton out there, and I just don't want to do that from the jump. I mean, eventually I will get there, but like if I need to, but I don't like doing that in the beginning of in the brainstorm research process. I don't want to do that. So the next thing I did was I created a Pinterest board looking at black textures. I just made it, it's called Dope Textures. I'm just going through and like trying to think like, what are some of the textures that I could use on the site that maybe he'll like? And then I know I have some saved on Unsplash too. So I just went to my Unsplash. Yeah, I'm just browsing around, just trying to get the juices flowing so that I could have some good momentum going into tomorrow's session. And for tomorrow, also I didn't mention that when I was looking at the website, I went through all of the videos. So I watched everything. Everything on the films page, everything on the home page. A lot of this stuff got me hyped. Like, I was like, damn, I want to try out each of these places, and definitely this barbecue spot out there in Texas. But a lot of this stuff, like, it has similar interests to me too. You know, minus esports. Like, I have an appreciation for esports because I'm a gamer, but I'm not really feeling it like I would actually go to an esports match. Actually, I take that back. I'd want to go for the experience because I've never been. It actually might turn me around, but everything I watched got me hyped. Everything was well done. Watched every video. Checked out all of his photos too. So it's all great. I got notes from all that stuff. So that's brainstorming and researching. For tomorrow, I think I'm ready to jump in and do some lo-fi, low fidelity mock-ups. I don't think I'm gonna sketch them out on paper. I'm probably gonna jump in to Framer, is what I said I was gonna use. I don't really remember, but I think I landed on Framer. If not, you know, I think it'd be better if I jumped into Figma first. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Either way, I'm gonna start doing some low fidelity wireframes and get those going. So I wanna have at least 3 different layouts. Before we move into that, I wanna make sure he likes the layout, at least one of the 3 layouts that I'm gonna have ready. So we'll see how that works out. That's a wrap for me. It's 9:30. I think I spent like maybe an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes on this. I usually don't do this brainstorming researching session at night because the brain is super slow when it comes to writing, especially even speaking in front of the camera. But I had to keep the momentum going. I want to keep working on this every day as much as I can. So that's a wrap for me. I'm probably gonna hop on the sticks, maybe get a quick game before I go to bed. All right, y'all, have a good night. Peace.